AFCON 2025. In the quarterfinals, we saw quite a number of games. I mean, I would say that a lot of our predictions were wrong because we said that Ivory
No,
Coast.
we gave Senegal
Okay, we gave Senegal.
went
We said
on.
Nigeria was going to win, and
We
I
Yeah,
also
think
said
we said
Morocco will win.
Morocco. Okay, so
Morocco
it
will
was just
win.
the Egypt game that was wrong.
It was
So
just
Egypt
the
gave CIV, Ivory Coast a very very good game, tough fight, right?
yeah.
With Ivory Coast midfielders just making mistakes and all of that, giving Egypt easy goals. And I saw Mamouche. We forgot Mamouche while we were doing this thing. Mamouche was very instrumental in that game.
Yeah.
Senegal also played really well against Senegal played really well against Mali.
Really.
Yeah, Nigeria had a fantastic game against Algeria. I thought it was going to be keenly contested, but there was no contest.
There was no
It was
contest.
a whitewashing. And then the game against Cameroon and Morocco. I mean, Morocco did their thing. Played Cameroon tactically, outpowered them, got the goal, got the win. And now we are in the semifinals. And
Give it up.
Nigeria will be playing Morocco and
Host
Senegal will play
nation.
Egypt. Let's start with Senegal, Egypt. Senegal are a very good team, tactically
Solid.
solid, very,
Good
very, very
players.
able-bodied people, good players. Nicholas Jackson, this Everton player,
Sadio Man.
Sadio,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
in the
Sadio
eye.
Mane, Ndiaye, from Everton. Sadio Mane, who
Gueye.
is also in form. Yes, Idrissa Gueye and Koulibaly,
Ah,
Mendy. There's
Mendy.
this Diate, Crepin Diata, yeah, Crepin Diata, and quite a lot of very solid players. Same as Egypt, with Mamouche, Salah, and quite a lot of players. Like we said earlier, we have always known that not African teams are always very tactical, right? Much more than being powerful players, except for Morocco, who are both tactical and also very, 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 very solid on the ball, right? Physical on the ball, right? So Senegal, Egypt, what do you think, Brown?
I mean, for the Senegal Egypt game, of course, we've known from the beginning of the competition that Senegal are a tough nut to crack. And this game against Egypt is not going to be any different. Now, if you look at the Senegalese team, they are a solid mix of experience, great individual players, fantastic setup, and then good attacking play as well. Now, you see Senegal, they are not just a physical team, but they are also enriched with experience from different departments of the pitch.
And talent as
You
well.
have the likes of Mane there, and then you look at the earlier guy you mentioned, Ndiaye, the guy from
Yeah,
Everton,
from
who's a
Everton,
very, very
The
good
main man for Everton,
very good
even.
player.
exactly.
Idrissa
Before you
Gueye
know
also, it's a very good
that
midfielder.
there is gay. So these guys are players that have been there, done that. They have done it before. This is no different. Now, if you remember when we talk about the Egyptian team in their last match against Ivory Coast, we did mention that. I did mention that the Egyptian team, right? One of the things that was going to give them the win over the Ivorians is if they play with the flanks, right? That was going to be an edge for them if they use the flanks well. And then when going into that game against Ivory Coast, it wasn't like the Egyptian team was the best of teams if you look at that closely. And we made comparison about their defense as compared to some other teams in the competition, that Egypt does not have the best of defense, and that was proven by the 2 goals they conceded against
Considered.
the Korean team that could not really string a couple of passes together. However, they succeeded in scoring 2 goals, right? So Egyptian defense is not the best of defense. What they do have for them going is Omar Mamouche and Mohamed Salah in front of that team. Now, if you look at the last game, Salah had a lot of the ball. And you don't need to give spaces to players like Mohamed Salah. Write him off all you want. Call him old if you like. Say he's washed off and whatnot. But on that pitch, when push comes to shove, Salah will show you what he is worth. So I feel like in this game, he would not be given the luxury of the kind of chances he had against the Ivorian team, right? So defenders in the likes of Koulibaly, you have Diarra there also, and you look at solid defenders like Gay, there's also Ghana there, and then you have Diop. These are very strong players that can do the run, mark the mark, and be very physical when they need to be. So I feel like Salah is not going to get that space as much as he did against the Ivorian team. And the same goes for Mamouche, right? And then when you are able to lock down Salah and Mamouche, you have literally stifled the Egyptian team because these are the guys that are going to give you the goals. So if that happens, if the Senegalese team is able to do that, then they have a very, very good chance of scoring. But of course, they also need to convert their chances because, like I said before, they can no longer continue to come from behind. Because if they keep coming from behind like they did against DR Congo, you end up making your life difficult, right? So they cannot continue to come from behind. So I'm expecting Senegal to go into this one really, really strong with the kind of squad they have, with the kind of experience they are blessed with. I expect them to go into this one really, really strong. And given that they have a very good attacking set of players, I see them winning this one by 3-1. I see them winning this one by
Okay.
3-1. So yeah,
You mean a Senegal win?
Senegal win, right?
Senegal win 3-1.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with something you said about marking certain players out of the match, right? Like Salah and Mamouche. While man marking might be good, the issue with man marking, tactically speaking, is that you are vulnerable to losing your
Other
shape.
players.
Because you're vulnerable to losing shape. If those two players that you have decided to dedicate certain players to mark, if they draw your players out of position, then that becomes a problem. Well, that
The
might
idea is
work,
that
right?
the idea is
If you're able
that
to shut the player down completely.
But which other players
because,
are they creating the space
because
for?
Senegal play with 4 at the back, right? If there is
Like
synergy
Manchester United.
if there is synergy between those players, those 4 players at the back, I mean, you have players that are very, very physical and also very good on and off the ball. In with wealth of experience in Koulibaly, you also have Diarra there. So these guys, in a way, will stand a better chance of marking these players in Mamouche and Salah. Because mind you, these guys also play in competitive leagues that this current Egyptian attack plays in. So they have the stamina and the wherewithal to at least be able to manage this type of players. I'm not saying it's going to be entirely an easy job, hence the reason why I said that Egypt is definitely going to get at least a goal in this game. However, if you are able to create a box where you are able to cage these guys in Mamouche and Mohamed Salah, you stand a better chance of winning that game. But when they have the kind of freedom they did against the Ivorian team, I mean, then Salah is definitely going to prove why he was one time the best player in Africa. So he cannot be afforded that much space. That's the idea.
Before AY goes, just a rhetorical question that I want to ask. Is it a great idea to commit center halves to marking players of the caliber of Mamouche and Salah?
I think if the player is
Rhetorical
not.
question.
I
It's a
think if it's
rhetorical
not.
question.
Okay. Rhetorical.
Is it a good idea? AY,
So for me,
Senegal, Egypt.
Senegal, Egypt. I would say Senegal, they look a lot more disciplined. They look a lot more balanced at the back, and they also have a mix of experience and youth. Then we also have Koulibaly, correct?
Yes,
He
yes.
has said so many things about in his interviews that their focus is reaching the final and that it's going to be a big game. On the other hand, for Egypt, I think Egypt's play is around Mohamed Salah, and the attack is built around the same way I would say for maybe Ivory Coast with this United guy Ahmad. So I would say Egypt plays around Mohamed Salah. Of course, they have Mamouche and they have some very key players, but I'll say it's built around Mohamed Salah. But I think what Senegal actually need to do is, if they want to win, is to limit the space that Salah has, because he's very creative. If he doesn't assist, he will dribble and want to play and a very good shot and score. And for Egypt will also try to disrupt Senegal's midfield because that's where they also have strength. But I would say overall, for Senegal, can they manage Egypt's attack without giving space to Salah? And for Egypt, of course, they have the leadership of Salah, and how effectively can they control possession against Senegal's very structured setup. If I'm to give, can we give our
Go ahead.
predictions now? I would say I will still tip Senegal to win Egypt. A narrow 2-1 Senegal win.
Okay, Shola, what do you think?
This time
Senegal
around,
to beat Egypt.
I'm going for Egypt this time around. A narrow 2-1 win for Egypt. Because maybe this is the time for Salah. You never know, you know.
So this is not time for Osimhen.
I mean,
Wait,
we'll get to
are we
Nigeria
playing
later.
them?
We'll still get to final. When we get to final,
Whatever happens,
Yeah.
I want Nigeria. I want Nigeria.
And also, this is more like a revenge mission, right? You remember that the final, I think it was 2021. Was it 2021 final? It was Senegal and Egypt.
AFCON was 2019.
2019, 2020. We had one in 2022.
2022, yes.
Thereabout. I think that was the one that was like Senegal, Egypt. They played in the final. Can't remember now. And then now we had the one that Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire played in the final. And then now we don't know who's going to be in the final. But I know there was a time that Sadio Mane triumphed over Mohamed Salah.
It was Senegal, Egypt, and Senegal won.
Yeah, exactly. And Senegal won. And, and also it was nowhere received within the...
on penalties. It was 20.
On penalties. Yeah. It was nowhere received within the Liverpool camp that time that Klopp had to manage the fight. He didn't really celebrate Sadio Mane when he returned because he didn't want to also offend Mohamed Salah. So I believe they have that beef. Maybe that beef even led to Sadio Mane leaving Liverpool. So best of friends have become best of foes now. And perhaps Salah is probably on a revenge mission. And of course, you hear this talk about like the things like coming from Jamie Carragher to Salah right now, that you're not even like the best person in Africa or something like that. You have not even won this for Egypt and stuff like that. So, excuse me. So you can see, like, so because of that, I feel like maybe Salah has perhaps extra motivation to go on to the finals and perhaps even eventually win it. Of course, when we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. Nigeria is there, best team in the tournament. So because of this, I'll say a repeat of that final. Perhaps it goes like to penalties because I don't see Egypt defeating Senegal in 90 minutes. But at the same time, I think they can do it in 120. They can do it also on penalties, right? And I also think that this Egyptian team, you can say that maybe the Ivorians were like slack or something like that, but you just have to give it to the opponents. This was like this was a real test that, it was like 3-1. So it was not like they were even like, it was not like 1-0, 1-1.
3-2.
Yeah, it was 3-1 at some point before.
Okay, yes, of course.
Before they scored 3-2, before they go another one back. So, I mean, it was even 2-0 before they go one back, 2-1. Then it was 3-1 again before they now. So it just shows that they are not to be underestimated, right? So because of that, I will say I want to give it to Egypt. That Egypt to go on to the final, not in 90 minutes. They probably do it in 120 minutes, or it goes to penalties and then Egypt come out on top.
Well, I think that Senegal will win, and I think that Salah will cry again. So yeah,
you want the Egyptian team to cry.
It's going to be a very tough game, really, because they are both very good teams. One more physical than the other. One maybe slightly more tactical than the other, right? Because Senegal are quite a balance.
And maybe I also don't want Senegal to enter the final, because if they enter the final, they will miss Nigeria. And I think they are the only team that can beat Nigeria.
Nigeria happens to be one of the...
They have Ndiaye, they have Sadio Mane,
we have Iwobi.
Have you seen the way the Ndiaye moves?
Have you seen Iwobi move?
Moves like Hazard
at times. Have you seen Iwobi move? Forget.
Yeah,
The idea
yeah.
is moving like Hazard, but what's the end product of the movement? We can ask that. Now, I think that Senegal will win. It's going to be a very tough game,
I
right?
also think that recent Everton struggle is because that guy is in AFCON as well. You know,
Maybe.
like with Goya as well. So anyway, yeah.
Senegal, I would say maybe a 2-1, 3-2 kind of thing. That's sort of Egypt Ivory Coast scoreline. I think it's went like 3-2 for Senegal. Nigeria, Morocco. Super Eagles of Nigeria, we've had a very fantastic run in this competition. We've had players who have been very spectacular. The engine himself, the lion himself, the engine himself, Alexander Iwobi.
Obi.
I think and I've said it before and I will say it again, that this is the best Nigerian side I've seen since. Okay, yeah, the Stephen Keshi side knew how to win games, right? We had Umba, we had players who wanted to score. We had this man that was always eating hard shots.
Hey,
Striker. What's his
that
name again?
Emenike.
Menike.
Yeah.
So we had a team that knew how to win games regardless of anything. But this particular crop of players, with this coach Eric Shell, they are very methodic. They pass the ball around. They are waiting for the I don't know. Iwobi especially has been very fantastic with defense splitting passes and all of that. And it's not a fluke. Just to say that Iwobi has had one game and it's good. In all of the games that were played in this competition, you see him taking 2, 3, 4, 5 key passes. And there are other players also. Our defense has been really good. Calvin Bassey has been very fantastic. The goalkeeper, nothing to do yet. So I mean, he made some mistakes earlier, right? But it has not really had anything to do because defense has been very good. Shemi Ajayi also has been very good. Whoever has played on the left and on the right of defense, very, very good. Either it's Bruno or it's the other guy. Very fantastic also. Also going forward, Lukman, Osimhen got his goal again against Algeria. And Akko Adams also, who is a very fantastic player. Overall, we have a very solid team. Best that I have seen in recent years, right? And now we're going to the semi-finals against Morocco, who are also equally very good. They've been with their coach for 4 or 5 years
I think they've
now
had like
from the World Cup.
19 games unbeaten, or I don't know, maybe 20
Yeah,
something games.
from the World Cup where they played really well and they made Africa proud in the World Cup and all of that. Crashed out in the semi-finals or quarterfinals, I
Yes.
can't remember now. Yeah, and now we play against that
With
same team,
Portugal,
Hakimi
Ronaldo.
and all their and also Brian Diaz, who switched allegiance to Morocco and all of that. What can we expect from this game? Are we going to see a Nigeria Super Eagles domination like we did against Algeria? Although we cannot compare because Algeria, they are Algeria. They were not very spectacular until they even played us, right? Are we expecting a dominant first half, second half for Nigeria, or is it going to be a very tricky game where you snooze, you lose, that kind of thing? Shola?
Oh, thank you very much. I mean, for me, I think we shouldn't expect a dominant game against the host nation. I mean, for so many reasons. Number one being the psychological support that they're going to have from their fans, and also, you saw a glimpse of what intimidation could look like against when we defeated Algeria. You saw that they were trying to intimidate the referee. There was some sort of not so good behavior, and being the host nation is not even the fault of the host nation now, right? The fans, you don't really have control over what the fans could do at times, like the intimidation, and also you also have that fear. So psychologically, I think Morocco, they have edge over Nigeria. I also think when you analyze this Nigerian team and you compared it with that Stephen Keshi team, I also think we are missing some critical element of surprise. We are missing. We don't really, at times we are looking for goals, and then it's going to be down to individual brilliance of Emenike just shooting it just shooting out of the box 18
Or
and
Steven
creating.
Umba I think it was against Ivory Coast where Steven Umba
And
scored
Steven,
one goal.
exactly. We also had a defender that could also shoot and just enter the net like that. So we had like this element of surprises whereby like those wow moments where you just stand up and be like, "Ooh, where did that come from?" But you analyze our team, you see that they are methodical. And what if something is not coming out from that? What if we are trying to pass and then they are just like we are not able
So
to
much.
break the lines and stuff like that.
But
We
they are
need that
pressing us
person.
really hard.
Exactly. We need that person that can just shoot, like Taiwo kind of shooting that will just enter the net. So we don't really have that in our team. We have really good players, but we don't have that player that maybe can just shoot from the midfield or can just do
But we
even
have
free kick,
seen,
even free
but we
kick.
have seen, but we have seen like 3 goals that are from somebody taking initiative to take a shot. For instance, Edika scored
But it's usually like
2 goals, and
within that
Lukman has also
edge of
scored those sort of
it's usually
with
like
edge of
within
the
that
box.
box of 18, like
Yes,
edge of the
yes, yes,
box,
yes,
inside
edge
box
of the box,
18
yeah.
and stuff like that. So we are really not able to score outside of that domain. And Osimhen doesn't seem like a striker that can shoot from outside like
From outside the
Ronaldo or
box.
like Mbappe. He's also like his domain is also within the box. So that's the thing I feel like is the missing piece in this Nigerian team, right? Like that player that can just like that element of surprise. We know we are gonna play beautiful football. We know we are going to do this, but what if they are so defensive and that's not coming? And you could also see that was also almost like the same problem that Cameroon had against these Moroccan teams, right? The match was so physical and they were just all over the place. They were really, really, really. They were able to contain Baleba. They were able to contain Bemo. They were able to contain Shamadu. They were really able to contain them. I don't know. They were really very, very, very solid. I wasn't really expecting them to undo Cameroon the way they handled Cameroon, and then they also had to. Then they made that.
Maybe Cameroon also had no plan. Maybe.
I mean, Cameroon were I wouldn't say they didn't have plan, but they were just like Moroccans they were just more aggressive.
Yeah, they
They were
didn't
just more
allow them
aggressive.
to play their
They
kind.
didn't adapt them to play their match. Before you try to pass, they rush you. It was really physical on both sides. It was on
That's
both
one
sides
thing
were
I
really, really
worry
physical.
about. That's my worry about this Moroccans. They are very good. See how they played in the World Cup.
Yeah,
And now they've even moved on from those players to new. Not all of them, anyways, because Akim is still there. But they moved to a new crop of players. And they are still playing the same way.
And they really have good defenders. They have Mazarawi,
Yes.
who's the United player, and say what you want to say. United may be a mess, but Mazarawi is not a mess. They have Amrabat. Amrabat.
Very good.
This is like a crazy box to box midfielder. He can literally run for 120 minutes without getting tired. They have Brahim Diaz, who has been fantastic in the tournament. He has scored 5 goals so far.
5 goals in 5 games.
So they have Hakimi.
He has work to do.
Indeed, he has a lot of work to do. They have Hakimi who can bend it up there for their striker and then it's going in. So, I mean, it's going to be tough. But of course, we're not Super Eagles now. Scoreline, I think it's going to be 3-1 to Nigeria. I think Morocco, they will score 1, but I think we have free scoring. I see Afo Adams and Victor Osimhen scoring again. Maybe Osimhen scoring 2 goals this time around, or Ademola Lookman coming in to score. So, yeah, 3-1 to Nigeria.
Nigeria, Morocco, quickly.
Oh, Nigeria, Morocco. Can it be quick? I hope so.
Yes, please, make it quick.
The game between Nigeria and Morocco is really going to be difficult, which is not news to any of us watching these games, right? Because we play a similar type of football. And the reason is because as much as the Moroccan team is physical and a very good technical team, and it's the same with the Nigerian team, we have the physicality, we have the technicality, and we have the speed from our defense, from our wingers, and also from our strikers. And you could say the same for the Moroccan team, right? The Moroccan team, they are a team with pacey players from back to front. And then I think the key factor in this game will be the goalkeepers. Because I'm telling you the truth. Because in terms of optimism,
That means we're in soup now.
I'm
If
optimistic.
the keeper is the goalkeeper, we are already in soup.
Well, super. Bali.
Because you could argue that if you match players 1-for-1, there's not a lot of difference between what we have and what they have. And if you look at the technical style of play between teams, the same way we were able to stifle the Algerian team. Remember, coming into that game, the Algerian team had conceded only 1 goal, which was the same record with the Moroccan team, only 1 goal before that game, right? But because we did not allow the Algerian team to play their technical football, that was exactly the same thing the Moroccan team did to the Cameroonian team. They literally did not allow them play because they were always in their face. Nigerian team does the same. So there's a lot of similarities between these teams, right? Hence the reason why it's going to be difficult. Now, it is a game of taking your chances. When you have those half chances, how do you take them? Aqua Adams cannot miss the kind of chance he missed against Algeria. You cannot. And then the key factor, like I said before, is going to be the goalkeepers. We cannot even begin to contest the quality of Bono. He's a quality goalkeeper any day, anytime, right?
Hands down.
Exactly. So it is going to be a game of
Same with Nwabali. Stanley Nwabali.
it's going to be a game of very few chances
It's
because
going to be
as
Bruno
much as
versus Nwabali.
as much as we want to be in their face, you have people like Saibari in midfield who can also do the work. He can
Very good
run,
player.
he can mark, he can defend, he can do the up and downs for you.
They also have this big striker. I can't recall what his name is now.
That should be El Kabi, that's tall
Yes.
guy. So there's that guy. Now, do we have good defenders? Yes, we do. Physical ones, absolutely. So there's not much you can differentiate between these teams other than the goalkeeper. Style of play, experience. Of course, they have the crowd going for them because it's their own turf, right? But I feel like this Nigerian team, with the scandal we had before the Algerian match, the whole issue with Victor Osimhen on the pitch, with the way they came out, in spite of all of that, and then the kind of performance they put out, I'm not very worried about the crowd being the 13th man in that competition, to be honest. So I feel like it's going to be difficult. I see this game going into extra time, to be honest. It's going to be really cagey, and I see this game going into extra time.
Man.
Now,
We do it in 19.
because I'm a Nigerian, I'll be biased. And for that, I see us winning this game on penalties.
Hey,
Yes.
we don't go penalty now, Allah.
Anyway, do you agree? Penalties?
No, Nwa baby is not good at
Uh,
penalty.
let me take that back. Let me take that back.
Take it back. Oh, yeah, take it back and give us another thing.
Yeah. That because it's going to be a very difficult game. Of course, I expect it to go into extra time, right? But I see Nigeria narrowly winning this one by 2-1. Narrowly.
After extra time.
After extra time. After extra time.
I think Nigeria is like a 90-minute team.
I hope so. I
think we're a 90-minute team. If it goes to extra time, they get tired easily. They have tired legs and stuff like that.
The Moroccan team is going to be a very, very difficult team to play against, to be honest. And like I said, you cannot really differentiate our style of play from theirs, other than the formation where they play 4 defenders, 3 midfielders, and 3 attacking players. Whereas we play 4 defenders, 3 in the
possession, we're about 3.
4-3-1.
Probably the same.
So there is a lot of similarity between teams, and then we are quick, good on the ball, quick transition play. The same with the Moroccan team. So there's not a lot you can take away from these teams because they are very similar in so many ways. So I think it's going to be really, really difficult. However, because I'm a Nigerian, I see us winning this game narrowly by 2-1 after extra time. So that
anyway, extra time, 90 minutes, penalties, or we will destroy them like we did Algeria.
It's not going to be penalties, and we are not going to destroy anybody. We are going to win, but it's going to be a narrow win. First and foremost, I would say that we need to sue some of our previous coaches. Someone like Finidi George, Pissarro, Kenneth Raw. We are beginning to see.
Kenneth Raw didn't perform too bad though.
I mean, we won,
Well,
but not good football.
All those on edge winning. You're always on edge when you are playing.
We are beginning to see beautiful football from the back, excluding the keeper, from the back to Osimhen. We are beginning to see at least players string 1 or 2 passes together and give us something very entertaining to watch and to cheer. That being said, it's also unfortunate. I think you guys have forgotten that Ndidi will not be playing this game.
But when you think I will play,
Why is Indeed is on yellow card? He has
Yeah.
accumulated maximum. Oh,
Same
well, Edika is a good player, so we have nothing to worry about.
Calvin Bassey, if he had gotten
A yellow card in that game, right?
Fortunately for him, he was able to avoid a yellow card. And the only player who will be missing will be Wilfred Ndidi. Fine, we have Onyedika, but Onyedika is also a very good player. But we also need someone like Ndidi, someone with all those technical fouls that will not necessarily get
Result in a card or in a penalty or something.
exactly all those technical fouls. So I think we might miss Ndidi in this game. But like we won their other North African brothers in Tunisia and Algeria, I think.
True.
I
These
think
people that used to give us problems before.
Yo.
No. This one where you talk yacht, yeta. These are people that used to give us problems before.
yeah. So I think we are going to win them.
I remember when we had that fine goalkeeper that considered that shot against Tunisia.
That guy is I think he's in form now at the moment, but Okafor. Or something like that.
Yeah.
Where ladies just they die for Instagram.
Yeah, like
There's currently, before you go ahead here, there's a Nigerian goalkeeper who is currently hot in Europe at the moment.
Okafor is Wrexham goalkeeper.
There's another person. There's another player. I saw a post about players who are not at the AFCON and how they are performing, and there was a Nigerian goalkeeper who was part of that. But anyways, finish your thoughts.
Their team won in the FA Cup, I guess.
Nottingham Forest, yes. I think he saved like 3 penalties there. Is it Okafor or Okonkwo?
I can't remember the name, but they played against Nottingham Forest and they won. So yeah. That's it.
What do you think will be the scoreline?
Yeah, before the scoreline, just give me one more minute. I would say because Morocco, they're actually the host nation, and remember the AFCON, Nigeria narrowly won 3-2, and they also hosted then. They had to take the referee to court. The referee that left the game. So this is going to be another final. Anyway, this is not a final like a semi-final, but it involves Morocco, the host nation again, and Nigeria. So I just hope that the game is actually fair and it's fairly officiated, and we don't have to come back and say that we had a penalty that we should have.
And that has not been true for Morocco's game all along. They've always been at that controversial moment.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like the Mbeumo situation in their last
Mbeumo against Tanzania, also against one other team like that.
They've always had that. So if of course we have players that can score, we have players to look out for. Iwobi is there, Akwa Adams is there, Lukman is there, Osimhen is there. So day to day also have players that you've listed. Mazraoui, you've listed what's his name from Brahim Diaz. So it's going to be a very, very tight game. I see Nigeria narrowly winning 2-1 at full time.
I think I like the fact that the coach has been able to combine, all of these attacking-minded players to play. We're able to play four attackers. In fact, if I'm supposed to add Iwobi now, I would say 5 at the same time in one match. So Iwobi is dropping deeper, doing what's this position called now? Deep lying playmaker is it called? I think something like that. So we're able to play. I really like how we're able to have 2 strikers up top, and in some cases when we are shifting shape, we can also have 3 in front, and which is the fluidity that this coach.
The coach is doing a wonderful.
He's doing really well. The fact that we are you
manage look at that Osimhen situation. He knows how to manage it.
Everything is this.
He's so calm. One thing I like about him is he's so calm.
Yeah, he has a very calm demeanor about him.
About him.
You saw his response to Nigerian journalists when they were asking for more sessions. He was like, "I'm already giving you extra session. What are you looking for?" And somebody said online that we put journalists or content creators. But that's by the way. And you can clearly see how he wants to play when we are in possession and out of possession. When we're out of possession, we either have 2 or 3 at the back. People are forward, but there's constantly 2 players. We constantly have 2 players staying back. Bassey and Shemi Ajayi, they don't go anywhere. But you see how so the shape is very clear, which is something I appreciate a lot. You can see how the Nigerian team, you can see what we are doing on the pitch. I think that is going to be a very difficult game, honestly, because this Moroccan side are not just tactically good. The players are individually good. There's Lazuli, who plays in Spain, I think. There's Kabi, there's Brian Diaz, there's El Canos, there's Aguerd, who used to be in West Ham before and now plays for Marcel. So there's Mazraoui, there's Yasin Bruno, there's Ashraf Hakimi. So it's but of course, as you can mention those names, you can also do the same for the Nigerian team. We have players littered all over the place across Europe playing really well for their teams. So, but like Brown said, I think that the goalkeepers will play a very important role in this match. I hope that Ouambali brings his best to this game, stays calm. I hope that Yasin Bruno makes mistakes, and then that we win this game. But I think that we will win in full time, and I boldly say that
It will be convincing.
This match. It will be very convincing.
I think we can do it.
I boldly say it that it will be very convincing, and we'll win this match, and we'll go on into the final and beat again whoever it is. But when that time comes, we'll cross. But let's cross this one first. But I think that will beat them convincingly. Any final thoughts?
I just really hope we have that those kind of players that can really play short. I feel like we should be looking for those kind of players that can play short, outside 18 shots.
We should go and look for a replacement goalkeeper.
That's the first point of call. We need another goalkeeper that will continue to threaten the position of Ouambali. Otherwise, he will just begin to get ahead of himself. So yeah.
That goalkeeper is not also for sure, because he's the 24-year-old man.
Because if you also remember against Tunisia in that 2021-2022 AFCON, we won all our games in the group stage. I think the coach was Senegal at that time. We were really also playing really, really beautiful football. But the only difference was Tunisia moment of magic when one guy just played that shot. And our goalkeeper, our beautiful goalkeeper could not catch it. So it was a mistake. It just hit the goalkeeper. Because you could not, he was not just anticipating that shot, and then it just...
Ouambali has also had one weird moment in this competition. One goal that we considered that. I'm not sure. He was flat-footed, so he couldn't move. But other than that, I wouldn't say he's good enough to be starting for the Super Eagles, right? But just has to bring his A game and be more concentrated on the game. Leave antics. Maybe in the 80th minute when we have
I can start falling down and
you can start falling down, you can start doing drama, you can start so that camera will focus on you again, but you should just focus on the game, because it's going to be a very tough one. And that will be all today on this episode here. And
no United.
Thank you all for watching.
I have final.
What?
No
final thoughts. Final thoughts.
At the end of the game on Wednesday, either one of us or all of us would not be happy.
This is very true. This is very true. This is
me,
very
I'll
true.
be happy.
I'm not sure how.
As for me and my family, or when
either one of us or all of us would not be happy.
On one day, Chelsea plays Arsenal, and anyway, this is our problem. On one day, Chelsea plays Arsenal.
All of us can be happy.
Yes.
If Chelsea and Arsenal draw.
Yeah.
No. That one probably doesn't concern the two of you, right? Whatever happens there, but we can either all be happy or not be happy. If Nigeria doesn't win, then this is a.
If Nigeria doesn't win, all of us will not be happy.
This is a group disaster. So maybe I will slightly be happy if Chelsea wins, but if Chelsea does not win, that's even double wahala. So, but it's going to be a very, very tough, Wednesday. Emotions flying, and we'll be here. We'll be on the watch along. Everybody. We'll be on the watch along. You see, we'll react live to the game and all that. But I'm sure emotions will fly on that Wednesday. Right? And So that'll be all today. And thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Once again, with me here is Brown, AY, and Shola. See you on the next one. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.